I'm going to teach you how to cut some dollars in half and put them back together with magic. Welcome back to the Hat and Hare Academy, everyone. My name's Jonathan, and today I'm going to show you a trick using two $1 bills. Now, this is a really neat trick, and it does use real dollars. So if you take the $2 bills and you place them together, now this is where it gets really fun. You take a scissors like this right here, and you cut right through the center like that. Bet you've never seen a magician do that before. Yeah, this is where it gets fun. You see, if I take the dollar bills, just like that, they magically go back together. And that is the amazing cut and restored dollar bill trick. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that, but before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you are alerted as to when I post my weekly magic videos. All right, how did I do that? Very, very easy, very, very cool. It's an old principle in magic that uses something called rubber cement. Yes, that's it, rubber cement, right there. And I'm going to show you how this trick is done right now. So let me reposition the camera so that you can see how to do this very, very cool trick with dollar bills. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to get $2 bills. You want them to be similar in crispness and in color, and you don't want one really old bill and one really new bill. You want two relatively new, similar bills. You're also going to need a couple of other props. You're going to need some rubber cement, and you're going to need some baby powder. You're going to need the scissors later, so we'll set those off to the side. So what do? You take your rubber cement, okay, and you set your bills down so that the green or the back is facing up. Take your rubber cement, and this is important. You're going to put a fairly light coating of rubber cement right down the center of both bills. And I like to cover pretty much from the entirety of the one. So I'll go like that, and I'll go all the way down like that, and then I'll go all the way down like that. Okay, get yourself a nice light coating. Okay, you don't want it too thick. You just want it nice and light. Now you let it dry. That's right, you let it dry. So we're gonna let it dry, and I'll come back when it's all dry. Okay, now that the first coat has dried, you wanna take and you wanna do a second coat. That's right, a second coat. Again, you want it to be relatively thin. Don't want a huge amount of rubber cement, but you want a fairly decent buildup. And as before, I go from one side of the one to the other side of the one. That gives me a big space. Okay. Once you get that second coat on, let it dry. Okay, now that you've got your two coats of rubber cement on the dollar bills, you're gonna do something that you never thought you were gonna ever do in your life, and that is use some baby powder. Baby powder, open it up, and I just shake it on where the rubber cement was. That's right, shake on a good amount like that, okay? This is where it gets really fun, and you're gonna smell wonderful afterwards, and your hands are gonna be baby soft. You take and you rub, you just lightly dust that baby powder over where the rubber cement was. That's right. I like to go out all the way to the edges. That way, when you show the bill, it doesn't look like there's just this dusted white part. The whole back looks like it's been dusted. Brush it off, like so. And now you've got $2 bills that are prepared. Get rid of your surface. I always put a surface down when I'm using rubber cement because I don't want it getting everywhere. All right, so we're gonna set that there. We're gonna fold this up so I don't get baby powder all over the place. And now you are ready to perform the trick. Okay, now that you've got your bills prepared, you're gonna take your bills out, you're gonna show both sides, and you're gonna place them back to back, okay? Making sure that the faces go the same directions. Now you want this to be flat. You don't want any air in between, okay? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna press these together. You're gonna cut the dollar bill right in the center like that, okay? You shouldn't be any gaps on the edges, okay? Now this is where it gets really fun because you really did cut the bill and it really is cut in half. When you open these up, you just very gently open this one up and it will, the rubber cement will grab onto the rubber cement there and it'll hang by itself like that. Same thing over here. When you lift this one up, it too looks like it's restored back together. Now it's important to note that these are not fully restored because if you look at the serial numbers on this side are different than the serial numbers on this side, likewise on this as well. So it looks like they've restored back together using the rubber cement as a principle to hold those two pieces very lightly together. But if you look, it's still cut. That's the real secret to this magic trick, is to very generously use the rubber cement to hold them together lightly. So that's it. It's a really neat trick to be able to cut that dollar and using rubber cement and baby powder be able to make it look like it goes back together. In fact, it really isn't put back together. It's just stuck together because of the rubber cement. Now, what do you do with the parts afterwards? You're out $2, right? Not at all. Grab yourself some magic tape, some Scotch brand tape or some cello tape, whatever you have, and after the trick is done, you can't hand these out. Don't hand them out. But after the trick is done, take the 4 pieces that you have left, okay, and match up the serial numbers because the serial numbers on them don't match when you restore them. Like this one is an E, starts with an E, and this side starts with a G. That's not right. So you have to take and you have to find and match up the serial numbers again, and just using tape the dollar bill back together like this. And now it won't go into like a vending machine, but you can take this back to the bank or you can take it to a cashier and you can still spend this. It's still legal tender, at least in America. I don't know if this would be considered legal tender in other parts of the world. Now, with that said, you will want to practice this with some play money if you have it, or just be prepared to have a lot of dollar bills that you cut and you put back together. There is a little bit of a knack that you want to keep practicing, because if you don't put enough rubber cement on, this will happen. Cut right through the center of those 2 bills. Now what that does is that frees up the rubber cement part so that now when you open it up, oh no, that didn't work. As you can see, it didn't work. I didn't put enough rubber cement on, and when I opened it up, it fell apart. So you wanna get the feel for it. You wanna practice so that you're able to get the right amount of rubber cement and baby powder on the bills. So there you have it. Not a quick and easy trick to do, but it is an easy trick to do, and it's something that you can make at home yourself. It is a lot of fun to do, and it's quite startling because it's very open and people don't realize that you would actually prepare a dollar bill in such a way to make it work that way. That's all the time I have this week. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the section below. That really helps me out. Also, if you know someone that would like to learn magic along with us, be sure to send a link to this video to them so that they can learn right along with us as well. And if you're on social media, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Hat and Hare, or you can follow me on Twitter at Hare Academy. Until next week, thanks for joining me here at the Hat and Hare Academy. Oh no. So that when you open it up, it should stick together. Oh.